Eternal was directed by Chloe Zhao, and this movie tells a story about an immortal alien race who've been in hiding for thousands of years and then have to come out of hiding to take on their enemies, the deviants. As always guys, before we go any further, I want you to hit that subscribe button so you can follow this channel, hit that alarm bell as well so you get notifications when my video is going to be uploaded, and give this video a like as well. Eternals is one of the more lesser known characters from the Marvel camp. So I didn't know anything about these guys. Phase 4 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe is showing a different tone and different trajectory in terms of where they're going and in terms of the types of stories that they're telling. After phases 1, 2 and 3 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, fans were like, okay, how do you top that? You gave us, from 2008 to 2019, 11 years of hits. You gave some of the most greatest, the most iconic characters from the Marvel Cinematic Universe their own standalone movies. You then put these characters together in such hits as Avengers Assemble, Age of Ultron. You gave us two of the biggest blockbusters of all time, Infinity Wars and Endgame. Just combining every character in that movie. And the way that they wrote off Iron Man and Captain America, outstanding. And it was just a great way to end that legacy. So with phase 4, what do you do? How do you top it? Answer, you don't top it. You just continue with that narrative. And phase 4, it had a misstep. I wasn't too hot on Black Widow. I felt that there was a better movie in there. That movie was more like a sequel. They should have had a better origin story than what they provided for us. But then they came back with Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, and that movie was brilliant. And now here we are with Eternals, and Eternals has divided fans and critics alike. This movie currently has a 48% rating on Rotten Tomatoes, and that is the lowest rating of any Marvel film. But I wasn't going to let that influence me on my decision. So I went there, being objective, and after seeing this movie, I can say that it's not as bad as everybody says it is. I can appreciate the fact that Marvel wanted to take a risk and tell a different type of story and do something different, and they've certainly done that with Eternals. Eternals is one of the more slower paced and more dramatic movies to come out from Marvel. It is not as action driven as previous installments, and even the finale is less extravagant. It was more slower paced. So this is certainly a different film, and it doesn't feel like a Marvel film at all. As I said in the beginning, Eternals are one of the more lesser known characters to come out from Marvel. So you can almost call this an origins tale. This movie is 2 hours and 35 minutes, so it takes its time to introduce the characters. The problem there is, the character arcs of each character is not fully realised and fully explained. And I also felt that this cast wasn't as cohesive as, say, another group ensemble, like Guardians of the Galaxy. Guardians of the Galaxy, we didn't know anything about them. But in that movie, their character arcs were realised, they had great chemistry with one another, and they made for one of the funniest and most entertaining movies to come out from Marvel. Eternals doesn't do that. But at the same time, you just don't understand these characters, and more importantly that you don't have a vested interest in these characters. They don't make you care. Eternals is more like a drama. And I mean, don't get me wrong, there's some great moments in this movie, action-wise, but it felt more like a drama. The ending in this movie, it felt like a rehash of Guardians of the Galaxy. Marvel have pushed the boundaries with this movie. You have a multi-ethnic cast. Lauren Ridloff, who plays Makari, she is the first deaf superhero in Marvel, and she's actually profoundly deaf in real life. And you have the first openly gay superhero in Eternals. I felt that the villain was quite forgettable. Very forgettable, and wasn't that intimidating at all. And these are some of the weaker points in the movie. Casting wise, I felt that the cast were okay. There was nobody that stood out to me and I was like, oh wow, this person was great. But I felt that they were all adequate. Even though you had big hitters like Salma Hayek and Angelina Jolie, I felt that the cast was okay. What has become a common staple in many Marvel films is the humour. And there is a lot of it. Courtesy of Brian Tyree Henry and Kumail Nanjiani. These two guys delivered the comedic moments. And they all hit their mark. And even Kumail Nanjiani's sidekick in the movie, who plays like a valet or butler, he has some comedic moments in this movie as well. Eternals raises some thought-provoking questions. And ethical questions as well, in terms of if killing the human race meant the creation of a new human race and the survival of the future, would you do it? And that is something that's not only been done by Marvel, but that's been in some of the books that I've read, namely Dan Brown's Inferno. You do feel the stamp of DC on this movie. With some of the characters, Icarus and Makari. Icarus, who can fly, can shoot laser beams out of his eyes, and Makari, who is super fast. That is like the Flash and Superman. So it does feel like Marvel copied DC, but I had this theory. Because the Eternals are thousands of years old, did DC copy Marvel? Yeah, how's that for a question for you? But as a movie, I thought it was okay. I didn't leave this movie feeling deflated. I thought, you know what, it's okay. And I think in time, people will begin to appreciate Eternals. It is certainly different, and Marvel took a risk, and I think that it's not the type of Marvel film that we've come to expect. But don't allow critics and fans to influence you. Give it a chance and make up your own mind. So I'll give this film a very strong 6 out of 10. So guys, there you have it. Thanks for watching as always. And as always guys, please hit that subscribe button so you can follow this channel. I want you to hit that alarm bell as well so you can get notifications when my video is going to be uploaded. Give this video a like as well. Leave your comment with whether you've actually seen Eternals and what do you think about it. Comment down below and I shall see you all on the next film review. Take care.